here. We'll have the photographs. Let's just begin. Let's just begin. You'll have ample opportunities for photographs also. Thank you. We'll just begin. Be careful of the wires. In fact, we just lost our projection to these screens. We'll just rectify that. Good afternoon and welcome to this press conference of the Election Commission of India. Present before us on the dais are Chief Election Commissioner Shri Rajiv Kumar ji, Election Commissioner Shri Anup Chand Pandey ji, Election Commissioner Shri Arun Goyal ji, Senior Deputy Election Commissioner Shri Dharmen Sharma ji, Mr. Nitesh Vyas, Deputy Election Commissioners Mr. Ajay Bhadu, Ridesh Kumar ji, CEO Karnataka Mr. Manoj Meena, and I am DG Communication Shefali Sharan. Over the last 2 days, ECI team led by CEC Shri Rajiv Kumar ji has had in-depth meetings with the local administration and agencies. I would request Rajiv Kumar sir to give an overview, and thereafter the floor would be open for your questions.
And they can look at the PPT that side.
The PPT right now is available on the screen ahead of us. We are trying to rectify and get the projection to these also. We would be tweeting these also, so you'll get live updates of what is happening here. Thank you.
Thank you, Shefali ji. Honorable Election Commissioner Shri Anup Chand Pandey ji on my right and Shri Arun Goyal ji on my left, senior officers from the Commission, friends from the media, I welcome you all to this press conference organized today in India's own Silicon Valley. Let me throw you first, pay our namaskaram and gratitudes to everyone, every voter in Karnataka, and also request them to proactively participate in the forthcoming elections. In these 3 days, the Commission met with all the political parties, their representatives, national political parties. We heard them at length, and also all the Deputy Commissioners, SPs, IGs, Commissioners of Police, VBMP Commissioner, all the enforcement agencies, Chief Secretary, DG. So I'll give you a brief on what transpired, what were the directions given, what is the preparedness. Friends, as you know, population of the state of Karnataka is, as per the 2011 census, is 6.1 crores, and almost consisting of equal male and female population. The term of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly is till 24th of May 2023. So the new assembly has to be in place, elections have to be completed before that. As you know, there are 224 assembly constituencies, of which 36 are SCs and 15 are scheduled tribe constituencies. If you look at the voters profile of the state, there are 2.62 crores male voters and almost equal number of 2.59 crores female voters. There are, we have taken on ourselves to mark all the persons with disability. So there are 555, and there are 80 plus voters who are 12,15,000. And you will be happy to know that there are there are close to 17,000 voters who are 100 and plus. This is, and first time voters are 9,17,000. So entire electoral roll has voters ranging from 18 years to 100 years plus. That's the beauty of the democracy and all our inclusive voter list. Friends, a special summary revision is just recently completed. And during the SSR exercise, the Commission has laid emphasis on the new age voters, as I mentioned, the first time voters, the women, transgenders, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, persons with disabilities. We went extra mile to cover all these voters into our electoral rolls. And role gender ratio in this state is 988. That's a very healthy gender ratio. So the women voters are also almost equal. And as you know, in the last general election to parliament, women voters in 2019 were more than the male voters. So that is what our request to our women voters here also to participate in the forthcoming elections more and more. The senior citizens and PWDs, you would be happy to know that from 2018 we have laid special emphasis that nobody should be left behind. So number of 80 plus electors is 12.15 lakh. And similarly, the persons with disabilities, this is also increased to 5.55 lakhs, which is close to 158%. So this is our concern that, every person with disability should be empowered and come to the voting station. For the first time, as you all know, we are going to provide in Karnataka the facility to all the 80 plus voters and also the PWD voters, if they so desire, to vote even from the comfort of their home. Our teams will go. There is a form 12D which will be available within 5 days of the notification, so that any 80 plus citizen voter or the PWD voter desirous of voting from the home because of certain reasons, we will facilitate it. Though we would encourage them to come to the polling stations, because that's the real festival of democracy. And many of them want to come. That's our experience in the recently held elections. But still, those who cannot come, they will be facilitated to vote from their home. And all the precautions would be taken to secure the secrecy of the vote. The political parties, candidates would be informed in advance. They would be allowed to go. The entire process would be videographed, so that nobody can say that at the home you have taken vote this side or that side. So it's a totally transparent system of voting, and I'm sure the people will take advantage of this. All political parties and the candidates would definitely be informed whenever there is a movement for the voting at the house. The facilities to senior citizens and PWDs further at the polling station would include, we'll provide a wheelchair to everybody, we'll provide priority in voting, pick and drop facility, dedicated parking, and there is a new application, IT-based, mobile-based application we have made, the PWD app called Saksham. All the persons with disability can log in and book the facilitation they want at the polling station. They can tell us in advance if they want a help, a volunteer, or a wheelchair or something. And there would be braille ballot facility also for the visually handicapped, visually persons with disability. Inclusively, if we look at the inclusivity of the elections, our special focus is now continuously on connecting with the youth. We'll dwell on this a little more. You would be again happy to know that within a year, because of the special focus, the number of first-time voters in the age group of 18 to 19 has increased from 4 lakh to 9 lakh 17,000. This is our effort to involve all the young voters into the process of elections. It is now actually their responsibility. It's appealed to them through you that all of them should come and vote in the larger numbers. More so, what we have started doing is that if somebody is becoming 18th next year, whosoever is 17 plus, we have also enabled that they can file advance applications. So we already have 1,25,000 applications which are advanced. And this is first time happening after the 4 dates, qualifying dates, have been enabled by the legislation change. And because of this, again, if earlier the cutoff date was 1st of January, So if somebody is born on 2nd of January, he'll have to wait for 1 year. Now, out of this 1,25,000 advance applications, there are 41 and 432 applications of those voters who would become 18 by 1st of April 2023. Meaning thereby, they would be able to participate in this election. This has happened because of the amendment which has been enacted in the law, that there are 4 qualifying dates, and these 41,000 voters would be enabled on 1st of April to cast their vote and participate in the democracy. Though it's a big cause of concern that young voters these days are not coming to the voting stations, to the polling stations so much with so much of enthusiasm. 2 things are happening, which we are concerned and are also trying to tackle: the urban apathy and the youth apathy. We had a session in the Indian Institute of Science yesterday. We addressed the youth there. It is in their interest, it is in the interest of democracy that the youth come, and also the urban areas. Just to say in a lighter vein, the time is spent on the social media by the youth, if even 1,000th of the time is taken out, it takes much lesser a time to put a button on the ballot unit rather than on the social media pads. So I'm sure they'll come out. Friends, there are 2 particularly vulnerable tribal groups in the state of Karnataka. The Jenu Kurba and Koraga tribes. We have taken special efforts this time. This is again an inclusive part of our electoral role. Both the PBTGs have a population of 30,517. And all of them have been enrolled as the electors this time, 100%. And there would be 40 ethnic polling stations also in tribal areas for the PBTGs. Similarly, the transgenders. There are 42,756 transgender in the state, and we have registered 41,312. Every person has a right to vote and participate in the festival of democracy. So the women, youth, urban areas, PBTGs, old age, transgender, everybody is a focus of the Election Commission, that everybody participates in the election. I'll now give you this was the electoral part. I'll give you an overview of the polling stations. Total number of polling stations in the state is 58,282, with an average voter per polling station being 883. We will have, as a part of our empowerment, as I mentioned recently, we'll have 1,320 booths which will be managed only by women staff, all women. Similarly, 224, 1 in each constituency booth would be managed by the persons with disability. So it's not that they are dependent on us, they will show that we can also equally perform, and we'll manage the entire booth. This is our small tribute to them, to show and make them empowered. And through the process of this, the entire society becomes fully sensitized towards the needs and towards the appreciation of the PWDs. We have also started that in order to address the youth, whosoever is the youngest employee of the government, we are setting up 224 booths to be managed by our youth employees, young employees also. 50% of, as of now, 50% of the booths would be direct webcast. The sensitive booths have, I'll tell you about the sensitive booths also. There are 1,200 critical polling stations. Of those, there would be either webcast direct, or there would be a micro observer. So in some way or there would be CAPF. Either of the 3 as an added precaution, seeing the sensitivity of those elections. Cumulatively, they would be managed by an extra sense of precaution. Just to show you some kind of attempt we would be making to make the polling stations very friendly, your voting experience being very conducive and in the true sense of the festival of democracy. This is to enhance the voters' experience at the polling station. Just a glimpse will be our DCs will be doing, setting up polling stations, model polling stations to facilitate the voting. As regards the assured minimum facilities, each polling station would have facilities of drinking water, electricity, ramp and toilet. And since it would be heat time also, they would also have shades. Commission has also started a new, is taking endeavor, we are taking it on ourselves again, to say that the infrastructure in the schools should not be of temporary nature. You see, this is a wasteful expenditure that every time election comes and in the schools we create temporary infrastructure. So we are emphasizing that now the infrastructure in the schools would be permanent. And we are hopeful that in Karnataka, the infrastructure in terms of drinking water, electricity, ramp, toilet would be of a permanent nature in all these schools. So that's a kind of a gift of the election to the schools, to the students. They have separate toilets, boys and girls. They have ramp, PWD. Strict watch will also be kept on all the warehouses, godowns, wherever the freebies can possibly be stored or can be distributed from. Next. And for this, how you can help us in this? Please, through your medium, I want to appeal again, please popularize this. This is an application again which we have made called the C Vigil. C means actually citizens be vigilant. If there is anything which the citizens feel is wrongly happening in the society, somebody is distributing money, somebody is distributing freebies or anything, defacing the property, doing irregular activities, anything. They can write through this app from their mobile or take a photo and upload it. If they want to be anonymous, that is also possible. They may not give their name. But what will happen, we'll take the location, latitude and longitude of the person from where the picture is loaded, and our nearest police QRT will ensure that there is a QRT in a range of 5 to 6 kilometers. The system will automatically guide the nearest QRT, which will reach that place and report back within 100 minutes. People have used this application in other elections. The kind of seizures which increased are because of this. This is also one reason that our intelligence increased, and the common man who always gets affected by these kind of irregular things have felt motivated to inform us. And our system is automated. The moment we get the letlong, the moment we get the complaint, it goes to the nearest check unit, QRT, and sector magistrate, and they reach there and report in 100 minutes time. So please popularize this. We'll be very thankful to you that you have enabled us through your citizens to kind of help in seizing all this. Friends, coming to an end, elections after elections, media has been our closest ally. You have been eyes and ears of the Commission. It's only through you that we hear the whatever is happening. You report and it comes to our notice. So we also appeal to you at this juncture that please, on our behalf, help us in next 1.5 months to popularize and to tell your voters to at least come and vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll take some questions. Before you ask, I would request you to please introduce yourself and then begin your question. Here on the right. We'll take a few questions before sir